Imagine losing your memories, your sense of self, your emotional control, slowly, relentlessly. Not because of aging, but because of repeated blows to the head. For athletes, military veterans, and others exposed to repetitive brain trauma, this is not a nightmare, it's a reality. This is the progression of chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE. CTE is a neurodegenerative condition caused by repeated concussions and subconcussive impacts. Over time, it can lead to profound cognitive, emotional, and motor decline. Today, we break down the 4 progressive stages of CTE dementia, what happens in the brain, and what it means for those living in its shadow. Stage 1 is often referred to as the silent stage, because it typically goes unnoticed. Deep inside the brain, the first signs of tau protein accumulation begin, especially around small blood vessels in the frontal cortex, the area responsible for decision-making and personality. Although individuals may appear normal, subtle signs are often present. Frequent headaches, trouble concentrating, and short bursts of irritability might be dismissed as stress, fatigue, or the aftermath of a tough game. Sleep disturbances may begin to emerge. Some individuals report hypersensitivity to light or sound, slight memory lapses, or a growing sense of emotional numbness. At this point, CTE is microscopic, undiagnosable with current technology, yet the damage has already begun. In stage 2, the damage spreads from the frontal lobe into deeper areas of the brain, including the amygdala and temporal lobes, key regions for emotion regulation and memory. Mood swings become more frequent. Individuals might experience unexplained depression, explosive anger, increased anxiety, and paranoia. Often these symptoms arise without clear external cause. Impulsivity becomes dangerous. Individuals may lash out, abuse substances, or engage in risky behaviors. Some begin to isolate themselves, alienating family and friends. Short-term memory becomes noticeably impaired. Forgetting appointments, misplacing objects, or struggling to follow conversations becomes common. This stage is frequently misdiagnosed as bipolar disorder, PTSD, or general depression. But unlike those conditions, the root cause in CTE is structural degeneration of the brain itself. Sadly, some individuals at this stage begin to experience suicidal ideation. Suicide has been tragically common in former athletes and veterans affected by early-stage CTE. Stage 3 marks a significant turning point. Tau pathology now extends to the hippocampus, entorhinal cortex, and other areas essential for long-term memory and spatial navigation. Cognitive symptoms intensify. Individuals struggle with remembering recent events, finding words, and staying oriented. They may forget how to get home or confuse family members. Executive function declines sharply. Multitasking, planning, and judgment deteriorate. Financial trouble, poor decision-making, and erratic behavior increase. Language begins to falter. Individuals may stutter, forget names, or lose the thread of a sentence mid-thought. Some develop semantic paraphasia, where they use incorrect but related words. Emotionally, apathy sets in. The vibrant personality once known may now appear flat, distant, or paranoid. Anxiety may coexist with suspicion, social withdrawal, and difficulty interpreting others' emotions. At this point, people begin to lose their independence. They may require help managing bills, medications, or daily routines. Stage 4 is the most severe and heartbreaking phase, where CTE dementia fully takes hold. Tau protein has now spread across the cerebral cortex, brainstem, and white matter tracts. The brain, once rich with connections, shows clear signs of atrophy. Symptoms now mirror and often exceed the severity seen in Alzheimer's or Parkinson's diseases. Profound memory loss affects both recent and distant recollections. Language use collapses into fragments or disappears altogether. Some individuals become non-verbal. Motor symptoms such as tremors, rigidity, slowed movement, and difficulty swallowing may develop. These symptoms resemble Parkinson's, but without the classic tremor patterns. Disorientation is constant. Individuals may not recognize their home, loved ones, or even themselves. Incontinence, muscle stiffness, and gait disturbances become common. Total dependency is now required. Families often transition care to assisted living or full-time memory care facilities. CTE dementia is not just a disease, it's a warning. A warning that the price of repeated head trauma may not be immediate, but it is devastating. Currently, CTE can only be confirmed post-mortem, but science is moving forward. Biomarker research, blood tests, advanced imaging, and genetic screening may soon allow for diagnosis in the living. The call to action is clear. Enforce safer protocols in sports, invest in brain research, support mental health for at-risk populations, and listen to those whose minds are slipping away. The brain is fragile, the consequences are permanent, but with awareness, compassion, and innovation, we may change the trajectory of CTE for future generations. Protect the brain, preserve the person.